It's time for...
Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it.
All right, so the first deck I am going to talk about is, which one is this? This one is the
Blue.
Revenant Recon deck. This one has two. I might like the second commander better. Oh, Larry, get ready to hit that button, please. But it's Mirko, Obsessive Theorist. Actually, I got that one.
You got it.
Yeah, I got that one. Hello. I'm good with that. So Flying Vigilance, whenever you surveil, put a 1/1 counter on this. At the beginning of your end step, you may return target creature card with power less than this card to the battlefield with a finality calendar. So if it dies, then it gets exiled. Then you have this sweet Octopus, Marvo Deep Operative. And this is a 1/8 when it attacks Clash. Hey, we got Clash back with defending players. So you basically show the top card of your library. If you win the Clash or tie, that's a win for you. Then this happens. When you win a Clash, draw a card. Then you may cast a spell from your hand with mana value 8 or less without paying its mana cost. So one, if you're able to...
That's probably too much of a restriction there, huh?
Yeah, right. 8 or less.
8 or less. Everything in my deck.
Yeah. This is
except for Eldrazi.
Fits so well with this could go in a Eureka deck because it isn't a ninja, but the thing is you're setting the top already with your ninja deck. So I don't know. I don't think it'll fit in there, but you could do something that's similar to a Eureka deck. We're not going to break down actually the commander, but I will talk about there is 4 cards in this that are over $10. One is at $10. We have Phyrexian Metamorph. Did it?
Oh, okay. It's up top. It's the third one down.
Third one. Where are you? There we go. So Phyrexian Metamorph. We're sitting at $10 with that card. Then we have Reanimate, which is going to be
classic.
Sorcery. There we go. That is $14. Rise of the Dark Realms is a $20 card. This is a game winner right there. And a card that we haven't seen. I've had trouble making proxies of this card because it hasn't been printed but one time since Visions, but Necromancy. This is a really great card to bring creatures from graveyards back into play.
Yeah.
It's good in my Croxa deck.
What was this at?
That one's at $16 right now.
16.
So between the 4 cards, you're sitting at $60 for the total there. Let's jump over to that really quick.
It's going to look weird in a new frame.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm curious is what the art's going to be. So you're at $60 for those 4 cards. Then we have about 10 cards between 1 and 10 for $47. Some things to note.
Highlights?
Yeah, that's a good point. The Doom Whisperer, which is surprising, is now up to 7. That was one of our worst specs that we've ever had. Grave Titan, $6. Sphinx of the Second Sun, $8. Toxic Deluge, $9. Animate Dead is a $6 card, so they're doing some reanimation.
Some really solid reprints in there, too.
There's a lot of good reprints in there. So that comes to a total of $47 with a reprint value of $106. So this is a lot of cards in it. I think it's almost comparable to the deck you were just talking about. Some of the things the new cards, and number 2 is going to like this one. The first one I wanted to talk about was Final Word Phantom. It just fits with Magic players. It's 2 and a blue, flash flying. During each opponent's end step, you may cast spells as though they had flash. And then the flavor text is just a win. Remember this one, Larry, for the game later. Just one more thing, ... So when it's like somebody about to say go, you're like, oh, wait, at the end of your turn, I'm going to do this, this, and that. This is just perfect. I don't know if it'll be really expensive because it'd be nice if you could just, all your spells are flash at any point, but it's fun.
Right.
I think this is kind of...
what Seedborn Muse is extra turns, essentially.
Yeah, there you go. So that was the first one. I don't know if that one will necessarily be expensive, like I said, but I think it'll be fun. The next one is Unshakable Trail. One black, 2 colorless for a zombie detective. When it enters the battlefield and at the beginning of your upkeep, you surveil 1. And then whenever 1 or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from your library, investigate, so you get a clue. And then 2, you could tap 2, sacrifice a clue, and you can return this from your graveyard to your hand. So it has self-recursion. You're using Surveil, which is, we have the Surveil lands. We like Surveil. It's a good mechanic.
Right.
And now being able to get a benefit off of Surveiling. You're like, oh, I don't want this creature on top. Oh, I'll get a clue token in replace of that going to the graveyard. So this one, again, I don't know if it'll be expensive because it is very niche. But it does
Right,
surveil
it's-
itself each
It's
turn.
investigating, it's surveilling, it's
Recursion. Yeah, it has a lot of stuff
Right.
in it, but
I'm sad that I can't fit it into Cassia, but it's pretty cool.
yeah.
It's got a lot going on.
So then the last one is Charnel, I think is how you would say it. Serenade, Charnel, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
Charnel.
go that way.
It's
Some
really
hockey.
expensive to come out, but you're probably not going to do it that way. You're not going to pay the 6. You're most likely going to suspend this because this is a continuous suspend card. So
Ooh,
suspend
those
for
are
3.
nice.
When it is actually cast, it's surveil 3. Then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter. Exile this with 3 more time counters on it. So you just do it at turn 3, and you just have recursion, and you're bringing back anything. You fill your graveyard up. It's surveilling, so you're automatically going, hey, look at the top 3. Oh, that card I want to come into play. Let's throw that into the graveyard. Boom, it comes back into play. It has a finale counter, but hell, you're getting it out for free. So this is, I think, again, with that 6, it might not be expensive, but I think this is a good card. I think this is continuous
Right.
built-in.
I do like it. I like the
recursion.
surveil 3 and able to keep on feeding the graveyard.
Yeah.
I agree that the suspend part is what makes it interesting.
Right, because you're gonna do it
Oh.
for that suspend. You're not paying that 6,
It's
unless
like
it's
a
late game.
delayed rebound, essentially.
Right. Okay, so all that being said, we have the deck value. We have a couple of the notables in this. Lowry, you're gonna decide this first. It's time for.
Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip
Is it
and
worth it, Lowry?
reverse it.
106 total value with these cards in there. What do you think?
I'm gonna say yes because those reprints are solid. Like
Yeah.
when you were named, you're like, there's 8 cards that are under 10.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's good. Like the Sphinx of the Second Sun, Reanimate, or if that was whatever.
Yep.
But there was a lot of enticing, really, really good cards there. Highly playable, usable. The new cards always entice me. I'm not gonna say that I like these better than the Bant deck or the red-white
The
deck.
red-white, yeah. But it
Yeah,
has
that red-white one. But
some
it has-
interesting ones. You know, I don't think these will be
Right.
expensive, I agree, but I think they're interesting enough. And I think the rest of the deck has enough
Right.
value that it might be worth getting this. So far,
Right. So I'm gonna say yes, it is worth it
and I agree.
at the $40 mark.
Yep, at $40, this is definitely worth it. Okay,